felt like for me, all of the self-development books all had the three main lessons. It was have a plan, stay disciplined, and stay consistent. However, these two books have a very unique take because they actually force you to learn and self-reflect on yourself. Self-reflection to me is a never-ending process to perfection. The first book is going to be Managing Oneself by Peter Drucker. I always recommend this book as your first read to literally anybody. Like if someone says like, do you have any good book recommendations? I always recommend this book because I promise you, managing oneself will make you self-reflect on the person/worker you want to be. And my take on this book is that it actually puts people into a specific category, and I like to call it levels. Level 1 are your workers, level 2 are your team leaders, and level 3 are your shot callers, CEO, COO, things of that nature. And basically in this book, it makes you self-reflect and really think about what position you truly find yourself in and what you're naturally best at. And what Peter Drucker does really well is that he makes it known that it's okay to be in any one of these categories, and how can you be the best version of yourself within that category. A lot of entry or like level 1 workers, I would say, for example, they don't want to bear the responsibility, they don't want to be the shot caller, they don't want to be confrontational, right? So they're really good at being just a worker, being told what to do, given the timeline, and getting it done. But how can you still become an asset to the organization so that way you can still negotiate salary, incentives, time off, things of that nature. I don't know, every person has their own, unique experience. And then the level 2 category is basically going to be if you find yourself in a management position, and can you work your way up? Are you really good at leading a team? So then you can also flip that and look at the level 3, like the shot caller category, and know that CEOs are confrontational and they have what it takes. If you're a CEO or if you're a shot caller, right, in that category, how can you lead in a way that people want to follow you, right? You don't want to be a boss and just boss them around. How can you actually show people and guide them and make them want to work with you in that, work environment that people want to be a part of? So that's just the world that we live in. There's CEOs, there's managers, and then there's workers within every organization. And even if you're a freelancer and you don't technically have a team, you will always be working with people. The great thing about this book, it is literally only 55 pages. You guys can see 55 pages of pure gold. It's not filled with any fluff or BS like most self-development books that just repeat the same thing over and over again. For one night, bang out this book, 55 pages, put your phone down for about an hour and really, take the action that it takes to change your life and read this book. And now my second book is No Excuses, The Power of Self-Discipline by Brian Tracy. It actually makes you, at the end of each chapter, do like a self-reflection exercise where it'll ask you thought-provoking questions. This book is going to be broken into 3 categories, which are your personal goals, your business and money goals, and your overall happiness, right? So that is what this book is about. But within each of the categories contains 7 chapters talking about a very specific topic. And at the end of each chapter, you can see I have pieces of paper because it asks you questions on how to self-reflect on topics related to that chapter. For me, this was really important because when I was 22, I didn't even know where to begin, right? Like a lot of people would just say, just sit and think, but sometimes it's hard to come up with concepts just randomly. So having a book that really forces you to sit down and self-reflect on your life, maybe it's stuff that you've thought about before, but didn't really put that much thought into. So having to put, pen to paper and really think about it and write it out makes you think and process it a certain way. And then I promise you, you'll also get asked questions that you have never thought about before, and it'll also change your life perspective. Seeing it dated now I'm 25 and we're entering 2025, and like seeing how I thought back then and like, did I actually make changes that I wanted to make, back then. And, needless to say, I guess I've done a few of them. So it's really cool to look back on and self-reflect. And these 2 books, I truly feel like are not talked about enough, and they really changed my life. I'm not a book guru. I don't make content related to reading books. People think that I read a lot of books, which I guess that's a good sign. I really don't. And if I could only recommend 2 books, this would be it. Because like I said earlier, a lot of the principles within a lot of self-development books are truly the same. So you already know what you got to do. You got to go out and execute it and make it happen. And but again, being able to self-reflect and having books that help you self-reflect really will push you in the right direction. But with that being said, you have to take the lessons within these books and go out and apply it. You can read 100 books, but if you don't do anything that the books tell you to do, then are you really learning? That is my take. These are the books that I would highly recommend going into 2025. I really do appreciate all of the support I have been getting lately. And with my last video, with my 3 years in Miami life update, a lot of the comments were very encouraging and positive with my thought process and my way of thinking. And I promise you, it all started with these books right here.
So the reason why I like this book is because it kind of makes you self-reflect a lot in the present about what you plan on doing in the future. And when I've done this before in the past was in the beginning of college, and the answers that I put down then are not what I'm doing today. So it's kind of cool to see how you think your life will be and versus how it actually turns out.
If you have a goal, you need to have a plan, because I've said it before, say it again, a goal without a plan is just a wish. Get out there, get after it. Appreciate y'all for watching this video. Check out one of the other videos that are on the screen right now, and y'all know the deal. Until next time, I'll catch y'all later.